musical instruments is the topic for today, right?
இன்னைக்கு நாங்க பார்க்க போறது இசைக்கருவிகள் பற்றி.
Now it's important because for your task 2 or part 2 in your speaking test, they could give you this topic, or sometimes even for part 1 it could come up. So it is important that you have a look at words around these topics, right?
இது உங்களுடைய ஸ்பீக்கிங் டெஸ்ட்ல பார்ட் 2ல வரக்கூடிய ஒரு டாபிக்.
Okay, let's move on. Can you play any musical instruments or even a instrument? Do you like to learn a new one? Which instrument would that be? Can you play any musical instruments? Yes, I can play the piano. Would you like to learn a new one? Yes, I would like to learn. Yes. And I would like to learn to play the drum. Okay? So, you can think about these questions and answer it according to your preference, right?
Can you play any musical instrument? உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது ஒரு இசைக்கருவி இசைக்க முடியுமா? Do you like to learn a new one? புது இசைக்கருவி ஏதும் பழகுறதுக்கு உங்களுக்கு விருப்பமா? Which instrument would that be? அது என்ன இசைக்கருவியாக இருக்கும்?
So here, can you play any musical instruments? It can be plural or it can be singular also, right? So you can say piano and flute, or just one if it's one instrument, okay? So here you have 3 questions that you can answer. Hari? Guess the musical instruments. So here you have 8 pictures and I would like you to guess these instruments. Okay? Right, so I hope you have finished now, and let us have a look at the answers. The first one is piano. Some people call it piano, right? But it's a piano. Next one is a guitar. Third picture is melodica. Fourth one is flute. Next one is mandolin. The next one is tambourine. This is quite famous even in playgroups, right? Maracas. And the last one here is the drum. Right, so let's have a look at the pronunciation now. The first one is piano. You have the mandolin, guitar, melodica, flute, tambourine, maracas. Some people call it maracas, some people call it maracas, right? Maracas. Drum. Okay? So you can see the picture, so I don't need to explain it to you, right? Okay, so let's have a look at the next slide. Again, you have 8 pictures here. Can you guess what they are? Okay. Right, so what is the first one? Accordion. Next one is cymbal. Next one, saxophone. We have bagpipe, also have the violin. We have the sitar. We have the keyboard. And we also have the French horn. So I hope you have got them correct. This is an accordion, cymbal, saxophone, bagpipe, violin, sitar, keyboard, French horn. All right, so with that we can move on into our next activity. Playing music. Now here are some of the words that you would come across when you study about music, musical instruments or playing music, okay? Traditional instruments. What do you mean by traditional instruments? It means what you use for developing or composing traditional music, right? So we have some traditional instruments like the flute, the drum. Even in drums, we have yakbera, gatabera, right? We have the thamena. So you've got different types of drums, right? So those could be traditional instruments. To take up means when you want to compose, someone tells you, okay, would you like to do me a song, write a song for me or compose a song for me? You take up that job. To take up means you start doing it, okay? To read music, what do you mean by to read music? Do you listen to music or do you read music? What do you mean by this? Okay, to read music is that you should be able to actually read the notes in terms of music. To play by ear is that you listen to something and remembering the tune without the notes, you can play it on your own. Okay. Talented is that you have a natural inborn ability. To be musical is that you can come up with nice tunes and rhythms. Okay. Sense of accomplishment. When someone composes a song or when someone sings a song, right, using all of these rhythms, musical instruments and everything, right, if you do it well, you have a sense of accomplishment. Ha, I've done a good job. Okay. Vocals are the people who actually sing out. That is a vocalist. Okay. So the vocals are the lyrics, right? So let us have a look at the meanings in detail again. Traditional instruments. It's a type of instrument that has been played for many generations or that was popular in the past, and it is often unique to a country or region, right? So example like the ones that I told you before, or out of the ones that I showed you, you could even take the sitar, which is a traditional instrument which is played in India, right?
Traditional instruments என்றால் ஒரு நாட்டுக்கே உரித்தான கலாச்சார இசைக்கருவிகள். Example, சித்தார் இந்தியாவுக்கு உரித்தானது.
To take up means to begin to learn something, okay? So as an example you can write down, I'm going to take up the guitar. Okay, so take up the guitar doesn't mean that you're going to actually take it up in terms of an action, but it means that you're going to begin learning it. To read music is to understand the musical notes, right? I told you to play by ear is to play without reading the musical notes. To be talented is to be naturally skilled at something. To be musical is to have a skill in or great liking for music. Sense of accomplishment is when you've achieved something that you can be proud of, right? So say that you passed a music exam, you can say, I have a real sense of accomplishment for passing my music exam. Vocals is a part of piece of music that is sung. Okay, so my parents met, example you can say my parents met in a band. Dad was a guitarist and mom sang vocals.
to take up. ஒரு புது விஷயத்தை எடுத்து செய்கிறது, இல்லை ஒரு புது விஷயத்தை பழக ஆரம்பிக்கிறது to take up. To read music. மியூசிக் நோட்ஸை அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணி வாசிக்கக்கூடியதாக இருக்குது. To play by ear. நோட்ஸ் இல்லாமல் காதால் கேட்டு ப்ளே பண்ணுறது. Talented, திறமை மிக்க. To be musical என்றால் சங்கீதம் பற்றி நாலேஜ் இருக்கிறது, சங்கீதம் பற்றி சரியான புரிந்துணர்வு இருக்கிறது. சென்ஸ் ஆஃப் அக்காம்ப்ளிஷ்மெண்ட், இலக்கை அடைந்த ஒரு திருப்தி. வோக்கல்ஸ், ஒரு பேண்ட்ல பாட்டு படிக்கிறவங்க.
So basically here are some of the words or phrases that would come across when you are having a look at playing music. Okay, musicians. We've got a few words here. The first one is musician. Okay, conductor, guitarist, keyboard player, pianist, drummer, violinist, vocalist, choir, orchestra, band, group, composer. Right? Now, what do these words actually mean? Okay, let us have a look at one by one. Musician is a person who plays a musical instrument, especially as a profession, right? So he or she could be playing the flute or something, right? But they do it as a profession, so they are known as musicians. Conductor is the person who leads the orchestra. Guitarist, someone who plays the guitar. Keyboard player, someone who plays the keyboard. Pianist, someone who plays the piano. Drummer is someone who plays drums. Violinist is someone who plays the violin. Vocalist is someone who actually sings. Choir is a group of singers singing together, right? So here a lot of people, when they sing together, let's draw the smiley faces, right? When they are all singing together, a lot of people, when they are singing together, we call them a choir. Orchestra, a large group of musicians who play different instruments together and are being led by a conductor. Okay, so when the orchestra is performing, you need a conductor to tell, okay, these people have to play these instruments, so he or she will conduct the orchestra. Band, a group of people who sing together and also play instruments. Group is a collection of people who sing together but do not necessarily play any instruments. Composer is a person who writes music, especially as a professional occupation. Okay, so example, you can say, my favorite classical composer is Mozart. Right, so we had a look at the meanings.
மியூசிஷியன் சங்கீதக்காரன், கண்டக்டர் ஆர்கெஸ்ட்ரா ஒன்றை வழி நடத்துபவர், கிட்டாரிஸ்ட் கிட்டார் பிளே பண்ணக்கூடியவர், கீபோர்ட் பிளேயர் கீபோர்ட் பிளே பண்ணக்கூடியவர், பியானிஸ்ட் பியானோ பிளே பண்றவர், ட்ரம்மர் மேளம் தட்டுபவர், வயலினிஸ்ட் வயலின் வாசிப்பவர், வோக்கலிஸ்ட் பாட்டு படிப்பவர், choir நிறைய பேர் ஒன்றாக சேர்ந்து பாடல் பாடுதல், அதாவது பாடகர் குழு, அதுக்கு சொல்றது choir. ஆர்கெஸ்ட்ரா நிறைய இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட்ஸ், பல இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட்ஸ் ஒன்று சேர்ந்து இசைக்கப்படும் இடம். பேண்ட் ஒரு சங்கீத குழு. குரூப் ஒன்றாக சேர்ந்து பாடும் ஒரு குழு. கம்போசர் இசையமைப்பாளர்.
Okay, so let us have a look at the pronunciation. Musician, conductor, guitarist, keyboard player, pianist, drummer, violinist, vocalist, choir, orchestra, band, group, composer. Right, so let us have a look at the next one. Match the words. You did this with me. What is this? Is this a pair of scissors? Eraser, no. Is it accordion? Yes, it is. This one here is a violin. This one here is maracas. Next one is tambourine. And finally, we have the piano, right? So here we've got the guitar, the accordion, the violin, maracas, tambourine, and piano, right? So we had a look at a matching activity. Now let us have a look at the next one. Unscramble the words. So what are we supposed to do? As always, find the proper word, right?
இதில் நீங்கள் செய்ய வேண்டியது ஜம்பிள் வேர்ட்ஸ், இந்த லெட்டர்ஸை வந்து ஒழுங்குபடுத்தி எழுதி அந்த சரியான வேர்ட் என்னன்றதை கண்டுபிடிக்கணும்.
It's all in caps letters, capital letters, right? So if you want, you can unscramble it as capital letters or simple letters. That's fine, okay? So first one is piano. So P-I-A-N-O, piano. Next one, guitar. Next one, flute. Next one, mandolin. Next one, drum. Right, so the next one is cymbal. All right. What are these? So again, you have a few minutes to look at it and write down what the answers are. Okay? So this one is sitar. This one is keyboard. Next one is melodica. Next one is bagpipe. Next one is violin. And the final one, you know what this is? French horn. Right, so here we have unscrambled the letters. Piano, guitar, flute, mandolin, drum, cymbal. And then we have sitar, keyboard, melodica, bagpipe, violin, and French horn. All right, so with that, we come to the end of the lesson, right? So what did we do, right? We had a look at musical instruments. We started off with a few questions. Then you had to guess it, okay? Then of course you had a matching activity. You learned some new words and you had to unscramble the words as well.
All right, students. So இந்த சாப்டர்ல நாங்க இசைக்கருவிகள், அதாவது மியூசிக்கல் இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட்ஸ் பற்றி பார்த்தோம். மியூசிக்கல் இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட்ஸுக்கான நேம்ஸ், இங்கிலீஷ் நேம்ஸ் பார்த்தோம். அதே மாதிரி சில மியூசிக்கல் இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட்ஸ் சம்மந்தப்பட்ட வேர்ட்ஸ், இல்லை மியூசிக் சம்மந்தப்பட்ட வேர்ட்ஸ் நாங்கள் பார்த்தோம். ஸோ ப்ராக்டிஸ் தெம் அண்ட் ரிமெம்பர் தெம். ஸோ தட் ஸ்பீக்கிங் டெஸ்ட்டில் உங்களுக்கு இந்த ஒரு டாபிக் தந்தால் உங்களால் இந்த வேர்ட்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணி, ஃப்ரேசஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணி பேசக்கூடியதாக இருக்கும்.
So with that, we have come to the end of the lesson, which was all about musical instruments.